Wumbo.
Shalom, family. Hope all is well. Just wanted to go ahead and start part 2 of the video of why we decided to leave the United States. So, the end of part 1, we were briefly discussing us coming across Pastor Stephen Darby with his ministry out in Kentucky, and we were just pretty much under the impression that there's a lot of things in the Bible that is either not being talked about or just things that we just came across as, wow, there's a little bit more to it. So part of the journey that Ashley and I were coming across of, awakening and, just being able to understand the Bible and the scripture for ourselves, it just led us more and more into where we needed to go and what we needed to do to prepare like we had been since 2019. But one of the main things that we were looking into is, okay, now that we have come into this truth, so to speak, okay, where does that leave us? We have COVID-19 started in March 2020. So both of us had positions with our employers that allowed us to work from home. So we were able to be home and, raise our children and be able to just have, a Bible study and to be able to just sit down and just, kind of challenge each other and just, go back and forth and just lining up what we're seeing in the natural with what's going on in Scripture. So.
Yeah, with Pastor Stephen Darby, we stumbled across him, and he really opened our eyes to a lot. And we eventually came across Pastor, what is his name?
Pastor
Omar
Tibeaux.
In Louisiana, and he connected the history, the physical history, to the Bible, and he put us in the mix of everything that we were taught in middle and elementary and high school. For example, Julius Caesar and Rome and European history, things like that. He connected the dots and showed where we were right in the middle of all of that. But they purposefully removed us from the history. So that, in collaboration with Pastor Stephen Darby, putting together the parallel between now and more so the blessings and curses of Deuteronomy 28 and just the prophecy in Genesis and the first Exodus from Egypt. It was too much to deny. And then also just reading it for ourselves and really identifying who was speaking in that time and what they were actually saying about one another. That all of that rolled together, it was like an eye-opening experience for both of us.
Exactly. So here it is now, a couple months have gone by. It's now coming up to, I would say, late spring 2020. And one thing led to another, and there was just so much that, the Most High was showing us. And we were just thinking, okay, maybe there's just an extra layer of, preparation. We need to just stock up on a little bit more water, a little bit more food, some other supplies, batteries and flashlights, things like, just in case the power were to go out. But, at some point we just felt like, okay, I think the Most High is really showing us, okay, we may need to, leave. We may need to just actually leave to actually, we may need to relocate. So we just started just really, kind of talking and really praying and fasting deeply. And it was just revealed to us that, everything was just pointing to Africa. And I just feel like at this particular point, and, I'm pretty sure Ashley can attest to it as well, that we almost hesitated because it's like, okay, Africa, really? It's like, okay, we've never been to the continent before. We don't really know too much. I don't have any relatives that, are from Africa. So here it is, okay, if we are going to be doing this, we need to go ahead and get passports for us, her sister, and of course our children. So long story short, long drawn out process because of the whole COVID-19 thing. A lot of the offices were either short staffed or they were closed. So we finally get our passports later on in fall of 2020. And, of course, next step is, looking into, okay, we need to start, getting rid of some stuff. We may need to go to Goodwill a couple times. We may need to, ask family, say, hey, do you guys, feel you could take advantage of this? We may not be needing it, or we're not going to need it by going to Africa. So,
and so, I mean, even though we weren't 110% sure, that we were actually going to leave, because that's a big step, and we wanted to make sure it was the Most High telling us this and not our own understanding, because His will is different from what we may think His will is. So we continue to ask for confirmation as we move forward in a lot of the different decisions that we were trying to make. And He just kept showing up. We were blown away at just some of the situations that presented itself, from just, our items, and just getting what we needed in order to leave, and having what we need, and as far as jobs and things like that.
Making sure the kids were taken care of.
Yes, and just being connected with people on the ground before we got there, and it was just a lot that we saw He was laying the groundwork for. And I'm sure if you are to really go and read the word for yourselves, as well as watch Pastor Darby, starting with Who Am I, or Who Are We, I think that's the title of it.
It's Who Are We.
And just going from there, as well as Pastor Omar Tibeaux, you will understand exactly what we're talking about. And if not, pray about it, and I'm sure He will reveal to you something similar, if not the exact same thing. And one thing I can say, the people that we have connected with, and that the Most High has put us in contact with, when sharing our stories, they match up like
to the T.
Like, from the noticing that things are just not quite right when it comes to, within the U.S. and then other countries, and noticing that there's so many look over here while something's going on over there type scenarios, and then going from that to, okay, something is about to happen. We need to prepare. We need to get as much supplies, food, become more connected with growing your own vegetables.
Exactly.
And
Self-sustainability.
having alternate ways outside of electricity, because you just never know, and there are things that a lot of people are totally oblivious to that has happened, will happen, and it's gonna happen. I hate to say it like that, but it's gonna happen. So for us, we were just trying to prepare, and then eventually the Most High revealed to us that He wants us to leave. And no matter how we tried to backstep, we tried to, talk ourselves out of it, He would always show up and show out and really truly confirm that He wanted us to leave. So when we were preparing to leave, everything fell in place. We had what we needed to get our plane tickets. We didn't have to take any type of tests. Leave it at that, which is a blessing, because I know now people are required to take tests, even, coming here. And that wasn't the case, couple of months ago?
Yeah, a couple months ago, yeah.
Yeah, so things are changing quickly. So we're just thankful that we didn't have to, experience that. And I know that may come up again in the future, depending on if we want to, move around more. But, so when the opportunity presented itself, we just put the pedal to the metal, and we said we want to be obedient, because obedience is better than sacrifice. And we would hate to ignore what the Most High is putting in our minds and in our hearts, and then have to experience what He was trying to prevent us from experiencing. So that pretty much captures what caused us to leave the U.S. And thus far, we are very happy
Yes.
with our decision, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, of course, we miss family dearly. We really
Exactly.
do miss family. Some family, they're very supportive because they feel like, seeing different things and exploring is a good thing.
The surroundings are different,
Yeah.
so it'll be good for us and
And the
of course the
kids.
kids, and
But then we have other family that, are very close to us, and they're used to seeing us on a regular, and now it's like, only video chat or whatever. So that's difficult. But when we really go over all of the different choices we made, we come to that realization at the end of the day that we know without a shadow of a doubt it wasn't someone else persuading us. It wasn't us following anybody on YouTube. It was not anything outside of the Most High that gave us this revelation. We were reading the Bible for ourselves, and that's something we never really did in the past.
I know I didn't.
We
I just...
depended heavily on what pastor and bishop and first lady and anybody
Overseer.
else, what they told us, and we didn't really get into it for ourselves. And we always tend to like take certain scriptures and make a meaning or a story out of that one scripture. But for us to sit down and truly read it in context based on what it's talking about, what the story was about at that time, and then breaking it down. And then of course the Most High is the one that uncovered our eyes so that we could see and understand exactly who and why all of what was said in the Bible or is being said in the Bible is why it's said that way. But yeah, so we have no regrets, and we are going to continue to move forward and see what the Most High has for us in the future.
Exactly. And that's the thing, at this particular point, we know that the story is still being written. This is obviously a journey, so a marathon, so to speak. So it's still going to be written, we're still going to be coming across, opportunities to explore Tanzania. Obviously, Mount Kilimanjaro is in Tanzania. There's, just several sites that we definitely want to either visit or explore. And, we definitely, once that time comes, we can document our journey and just allow you guys to see what Tanzania has to offer.
Yeah, and also, as far as our kids, they are adjusting fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said if mommy and daddy are happy, the kids are going to be happy, because our children are kind of young. We have a 1-year-old that's going to be 2 in a few months, and we have a 3-year-old that's going to be 4 in a few months. So they're still pretty young, and they're all about mommy and daddy. And as long as they're eating and drinking and able to play with one another and have their naps
from the sun.
Yes, they are fine, and we try to make sure that they're having fun, going to the water parks, getting up with other kids whenever we get up with our friends here, and just enjoying. So they're not having a difficult time at all. My sister, she's enjoying herself. Of course, she does stay in contact with all of her friends back home and family. So, and I think we're all guilty of that. We kind of keep in contact or stay in the know with Facebook and things like that. But I always say, with everything going on in America with the shutdowns and the having to wear a mask and having to be restricted on how late you can be out. I'm not sure if they're still having that severe of a restriction, but
Sure.
you just can't see people like you used to. Like, you can't just roll up on somebody's house and visit, because some people are just afraid that they're going to get sick because they're around people and they don't know where they've been. So technology is our best friend. I know there are people that I haven't seen in years. That's even before leaving the U.S. We were right in Charlotte or South Carolina and we haven't seen them in years, but it didn't feel that way because we only communicated with them via Zoom calls or text message or social media.
Exactly.
So it's not as bad as people think. I don't understand why people freak out when you say you are going to Africa, if it's visiting or moving or whatever. I don't understand why they freak out, especially now in this day and age. Because back in the day, if you came to Africa or anywhere else, you had to, send a postcard or a letter, or you have to pay out the butt to make a call. So now you can talk however long you want for free via all these different apps and Google Voice, and it's just so much available.
Yeah.
So
it just makes it easier.
Yeah, but we're enjoying ourselves, and I definitely want to just share the experience with all of you and just kind of keep you in the know, because I know there are a lot of people that may be hesitant when they hear Africa. But Africa is nothing like what we've been taught all of our lives. It is not bush. I mean, there are some areas that are bush. But for the most part, it is not like that. It's not people walking around half naked. I mean, you can go to different villages and things like that, and that may be the case. But there are areas that are modernized. You have skyscrapers, everything that you pretty much have in the States.
Yeah, malls, movie theaters.
Yes.
Of course, we're in Tanzania, so, you have beaches since we border the Indian Ocean.
Yes. So. And even if you don't border the ocean, you have different, I think, lakes that are just beautiful. I know there's I think it's a lake. It's got to be a lake in between like the Congo and I think Rwanda. That's beautiful. Like, it's just, you just have to really have an open mind and come to see for yourself, even if you're visiting. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, Ashley and I, we always just, appreciate the support and the love that you guys have shown us. This is still a journey that we are documenting, that we're currently living. So we do appreciate, you guys liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Any videos that we have, we definitely appreciate you guys, just allowing us. We appreciate you guys telling our story, but then being able to just come back and just to be able to see what else we have in store for you guys. So.
Yes, so we ask that you continue to bear with us, and we will have more content coming. I know sometimes we can lag behind, but when you have kids, time flies. And then also being here, it's just not enough time in a day, and next thing you know, it's Sunday. So
exactly.
We're just gonna try our best to be consistent. So we ask that you guys tune in. Make sure you hit that notification button to receive all of our different videos that we may post. And also, if you'd like to donate to our channel, that will be greatly appreciated. We do have PayPal as well as CashApp, and all that information will be in the description box below. Also, I will make sure that we tag a video or two from Pastor Omar Tibeaux from Louisiana, as well as Pastor Stephen Darby, if you guys are not familiar with him, or both of them. Omar, the information we're talking about is Roots of Rome. I believe I said that right?
Yeah.
But it's a 10.
It's more than 10. I
thought it was 10.
It's about 20 different parts, but I mean,
it's a series.
It's a series, yeah.
I think it's 10, but you guys check it out. I will put the link for the first one, and you guys can check it out, and just follow along with what he's saying, and look it up, research it. Don't take his word for it. Do not take Pastor Stephen Darby's word for it. Read it for yourself, because that will cancel all doubt when you see it with your own eyes and read it the way it was meant to be read. So if you have any questions, or if you want to add anything, please do in the comment section. And if you want us to produce any other videos or put any type of footage together, just let us know. We will be introducing our babies eventually, so please be patient. But we look forward to seeing you guys soon in the next video. So until then, shalom.
Shalom.
Have a good night. Bye.